Close your eyes for a breath and picture your name sign at the bottom of today. Would you sign it with confidence or hesitate? You don't rise to the level of your goals. You settle at the level of your standards. That's why excellence isn't a trophy you win once. It's a threshold you refuse to dip below. Today, your job is simple and concrete. Define that threshold in present tense behaviors you can see and measure. Today, I deliver on time. I listen fully. I finish what I start. Not someday. Not when you feel inspired. Now. Think of a carpenter laying a square against a fresh-cut board. The square doesn't argue. It doesn't shout. It quietly reveals straight from crooked, truth from excuse. When you hold a quiet square to your day, on time, fully present, finish what you start. You stop debating with yourself and start aligning your actions with who you say you are. If your standard were a line drawn in pencil, could anyone else see it at 3 p.m.? Here's another picture. Are you a thermometer or a thermostat? A thermometer reports the room. A thermostat sets the room. Standards are thermostats. They don't ask permission from moods or weather. They set the temperature of performance and keep it there. That's daily excellence. Calm, consistent, visible in your choices. Let's make this practical. Right now, write a single sentence that names your standard for the next 12 hours. Keep it short and observable. Today I deliver on time. I listen fully, and I finish what I start. Place that sentence where your eyes land first. Lock screen, notebook cover, the top of your to-do. Read it out loud once. Then begin the day under that line. Tonight at 9 p.m., we'll test it with one question that either locks in momentum or resets your threshold for tomorrow. That question becomes your quiet signature. But before we get there, we'll do something most people skips in. We'll examine your day as it is, not as you wish it were. Where is your attention really going? Which promises are on your calendar and which are only in your head? How strong is your energy when it's time to perform? Next, we turn on the light and make time tell the truth. So your standard meets reality, not fantasy. If your day had a lighthouse sweeping across it, what would the beam catch? Clear water or hidden rocks? Before we optimize anything, we tell the truth. Awareness precedes mastery. You can't steer what you won't see. So today you run a light, compassionate audit in 3 zones: your attention, your promises, and your recovery. Specific, simple, non-dramatic. What currently eats your focus? Which commitments exist only in your head? Where do you refuel? And is it enough to carry you through the work that matters? Picture a cold, quiet harbor just before dawn. Every 30 seconds, the lighthouse turns, painting rocks, markers, and open channels with a calm blade of light. It doesn't judge the shoreline. It doesn't argue with the tide. It reveals, then lets the captain adjust course. Your scans work the same way. A brief look, a tiny correction, and the ship avoids trouble without ever sounding an alarm. Add one more image. The compass clipped to the rail. The beam shows the hazards, the compass keeps direction. Together, they make small adjustments feel easy and obvious. Let's make it practical. Set 3 1-minute timers today: morning, midday, evening. When each timer chimes, jot 3 fragments on a single line. Doing promised energy, no paragraphs, no essays. Just fragments. If doing mismatches promised, nudge the wheel. If energy is low, breathe, stand, step into light, and return. These micro checks are regular, not heroic. Life-saving precisely because they are small. Keep that notebook or notes app within reach so the scans cost almost nothing. And remember, this is compassionate noticing. The goal is not to punish, it's to pilot. Soon, we'll stack a 2-minute keystone move on top of these scans that flip stalled days back into motion. But first, clearer sight needs honest scheduling. Next, we'll put real commitments where they belong, on a calendar that protects them like gates on a runway. So time starts telling the truth. Look at your day like a runway at sunrise. How many planes are circling because nothing is cleared to land? A calendar isn't decoration. It's a contract with your future self. If it isn't scheduled, it isn't real. Your job now is to translate intention into slots you can actually protect. Name your top 1 to 3 outcomes for today. Then assign each a takeoff window you will honor. 1 plane per runway, 1 focus per block. When you do this, priorities stop being feelings and start being flights with numbers and gates. Picture the tower calm voice, clear sequence. Arrivals, departures, no mid-air collisions. The controller doesn't add more sky, they manage the lanes. You do the same. Emails, pings, and stray requests can wait at the outer marker. What gets clearance is what moves your day. And if someone asks for a last, second landing, you don't crash 2 jets together, you vector them to a later slot. That's time integrity. Her pause make it practical. Right now, block a single 25-minute focus window for your 1 outcome. Put it on the calendar with a verb and a target. Phone in another room. Tabs closed. Timer on. When the timer starts, you're airborne. When it ends, you log the flight and decide extend or land. Either way, you've moved the work that matters from untended to completed. Keep the rest of your blocks visible but scarce. Empty runway looks tempting until you realize it invites every stray aircraft to drop in unannounced. Here's your quiet advantage. A 5-word boundary that protects these blocks without drama. We'll use it soon. For now, notice how scheduling clarifies trade-offs. You can say yes to what counts because you've shown yourself the cost. And remember, even a perfect flight plan stalls on empty tanks. Next, we'll handle fuel like a pro. Simple resets that keep your engines turning, so the slots you just protected actually lift off. What if your energy was planned, not hoped for? What would change if you could raise it on command in under 2 minutes? Energy is a system, not a mood. You don't need heroic willpower. You need reliable switches. Use the 3 R's to flip them. Reset your nervous system with breath and posture. Reoxygenate with brief movement. Re-expose yourself to natural light. Small inputs, predictable outputs. When you treat energy like a system, consistency stops depending on weather, sleep quality, or inspiration. You become the kind of person who can start on purpose. Picture your phone's battery icon inching up after a short plug-in. You didn't buy a new phone. You used a quick charge at the right moment. Your body works the same way. A slumped spine is a kinked hose. Flow slows, attention scatters. You lengthen the column, pressure returns. A stale room is a pond without inlet. 1 minute of movement stirs it like fresh current. And light. Think of a curtain drawn back at dawn. The room wakes without a word. These are not dramatic fixes. They are quiet mechanics that keep the engine smooth enough to lift what matters. Let's do it now. Stand. Roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold 4. Exhale 6. Repeat 4 rounds. Keep your jaw unclenched. Then take 20 slow steps or climb 1 flight if you can. Finish by facing daylight. A window is enough. And let your eyes find the farthest point they can see. That's your 90-second reset. You've reset, reoxygenated, and re-exposed. Notice the micro shift: warmer hands, steadier mind, a little more room inside your chest. That's usable fuel. Set a tiny rule for yourself. Start each focus window with this reset. Make it the on-ramp, not an optional extra. You'll discover that motivation often follows motion, not the other way around. In a moment, we'll go beyond fuel and upgrade the tool that does the work. You. Daily learning sharpens output without extra strain. Next, we'll show you how 10 pages or 10 minutes can turn the same hour into better results. The way a honed blade makes the same swing cut clean. What if 10 quiet minutes could make the same hour produce twice the result? Formal education gets you on the field. Self-education moves the chains. You don't need another marathon of courses. You need a daily edge tied to your 1 outcome. 10 minutes or 10 pages that upgrade today's thinking before you swing at today's work. Keep it specific. Sales script nuance if you sell. Phrasing if you write, patterns if you code. Knowledge that doesn't touch your next block is trivia. Knowledge that does becomes leverage. Picture a woodsman who stops to hone the blade. The pause feels costly while the sun is climbing. Then the edge bites, and the trunk yields clean. Same arms, same tree, less strain. Your mind is that blade. A short sharpen turns effort into glide. Add one more image, like updating the map in your navigator before a long drive. You won't shave miles, but you'll miss the dead ends. That's the compound return of small, targeted learning. Let's make it practical. Clue one resource now, so there's zero friction. When it's time, save an article, line up a podcast clip, or place a book open to the page at your desk. Set a tiny rule learned before you execute your first focus window. 10 minutes, pencil in hand. Capture one useful sentence you can apply in the next hour. If it won't change a behavior today, it doesn't qualify. This is skill stacking, not hobby grazing. Guard the tone, curious, not frantic. You're collecting tools, not trophies. Over weeks, those pages add heft to your judgment. You'll feel it in cleaner drafts, clearer calls, fewer re-dose. And here's the quiet multiplier. Learning explodes when your surroundings stop fighting you. Next, we'll build a greenhouse that makes the right choices grow by themselves, so your willpower can finally rest, while your environment does half the work. If your desk could coach you, would it nudge you forward, or quietly push you off track? Design beats discipline. You don't need to steal your will every hour. You need surroundings that make the right move feel obvious. Start with 3 simple levers. Remove what distracts, relocate what tempts, replace with cues that point to your next action. When the path is clear, your feet move. When the path is cluttered, even strong intentions stall. This is habit architecture. Build the hallway so walking it becomes automatic. Picture a greenhouse. Warmth, light, trellises that give vines somewhere to climb. The plants aren't motivated. The structure invites growth. Your space works the same way. A phone on the desk is a vine tugging you sideways. Place it in another room and it stops climbing you. A book laid open on your keyboard is a trellis for 10 pages. A single sheet titled, Next Step, on top of your to-do becomes the first rung of the ladder. Small design choices steer big days. Let's make it practical. In the next 5 minutes, remove one friction within arm's reach. Disable a noisy notification channel. Put the phone out of reach, close the tab garden, or place the resource for your first block directly in your hand. Document open, file named, page marked. Then relocate one temptation out of sight and replace that space with a cue that points at your highest priority. Sticky note with a verb, glass of water, headphones ready. These moves are quick, not heroic. The win is that you won't need to renegotiate with yourself every 15 minutes. Keep this question nearby. What in this room moves me forward without me asking? Adjust until the room answers well. Pause with the path now cleared. It's time to act small and win fast. Next, we'll place a keystone 2-minute start that flips resistance into motion and turns momentum into your new default. When no one is watching, who are you becoming? By habit, not hope. Here's the shift discipline sticks when it matches identity. You are not chasing willpower. You are authoring a claim about yourself and then proving it in small, public ways. Craft a present tense, evidence, linked line. I am the kind of person who does X at time, place because value. Keep it concrete, testable, short. Say it where the work begins so your actions and your self-image stop arguing. Picture a courtroom at day's end. Your future self steps up as counsel and lays 3 exhibits on the table. Exhibit A, the 2-minute start you took even when you didn't feel ready. Exhibit B, the 25-minute block you protected and finished. Exhibit C, the nightly ledger where you named one promise kept and one upgrade for tomorrow. The judge doesn't care about speeches. The judge cares about evidence. Gavel down, you're becoming reliable. Not because you declared it, but because your day supported the claim. Do it now. Write a 12-word identity line and tape it where you start work. Example pattern. I'm the person who starts on time at 9 because respect matters. Read it once before each first inch, out loud, calm voice. Let breath finish the sentence. Then act. 2 minutes is enough to begin proving it. If the words ever stop matching the actions, adjust the line or the behavior until they meet. That's alignment, not pressure. Keep this question for tonight. Did I act like the person I said I am? At 9 p.m., we'll use it to tighten the loop and raise your standard without drama. An identity doesn't live alone. The person you're becoming meets other people, clients, teammates, partners. Next, we'll communicate values so clearly that trust grows faster, doors open sooner, and allies gather around the climb you've chosen. When you enter a room, virtual or real, do people feel clearer or more confused? Private excellence becomes public opportunity through communication. Influence begins with listening, and cooperation belongs to the person who creates clarity. Use the 3 L's. Listen fully, let the other person finish. Then reflect back the essence in one sentence. Label clearly, name the problem, the deliverable, and the deadline in plain words. Leave with the next step, one owner, one action, one time. That rhythm turns scattered talk into forward motion and builds a reputation you don't have to advertise. Picture a tuning fork struck in a quiet room. It doesn't argue with the piano, it sets a clean pitch. Nearby instruments fall into resonance. You do the same when you enter a meeting calm. Take notes and distill. Here's what I heard. Here's what I'll do. Here's when. Watch what happens. Voices settle. Side paths close. Trust shortens every future conversation because people remember how you made their work simpler. And when misalignment shows up, as it will, you restate the note, not the noise. Clarity is kindness to everyone's calendar. Let's make it practical. Send one 2-line message right now to a teammate, client, or partner. Thanks for X. I'll deliver Y by Z. No extras, no apologies, no long preface. Appreciation first, next step second. Then put Y by Z on your calendar so time will tell the truth. Repeat this once per day and notice how quickly people mirror your precision. Keep this question handy. Did I leave the conversation with more light than heat? If the answer is no, circle back and tune the note. You've aligned others with your standards. Now we'll close the loop and align you with your day. Next comes the nightly practice that compounds everything. Your ledger, your gratitude, and the 9 p.m. question that signs the masterpiece and quietly raises tomorrow's standard. When the day goes quiet, what story does your work tell? Unfinished noise or clear notes worth keeping? Improvement isn't an accident, it's a review habit. What you examine, you refine. Each night you'll run a simple 3-line ledger that turns effort into evidence and tomorrow into an upgrade. One promise kept. One thing learned, one improvement for tomorrow. Add a brief moment of gratitude to shift you from scarcity to resourcefulness. A grateful mind finds options a tired mind misses. This is not self-criticism. It's craftsmanship. See it a small, sturdy notebook on a workbench, pages dated, ink steady. A craftsperson doesn't rewrite the day. They record it cleanly and sign the piece. Tiny lines, big integrity. Your ledger does the same. It catches the real wins, calls made, pages written, reps completed. And it catches the lesson, what to repeat, what to adjust. Then it names a single, smallest upgrade for tomorrow so progress is automatic, not hopeful. Over time, those lines become proof you can point to, not motivation posters, but measurable momentum. Do it tonight at 9 p.m. Ask one question. Did I live my standard? If yes, write why in one sentence to anchor the behavior you want repeated. Block 25 minutes and shift section 1. If no, write the smallest fix for tomorrow. Fun in another room before the block. Then complete your 3 lines kept. Learn, upgrade, finish with a quick thanks. Name a person, a tool, or a break that helped. Breathe, close the book. That's your quiet sign off. This is where our opening loop lands. You set a threshold in the morning, you raise it here at night, gently, 1 notch. And here's the hand off to your next day. Place the ledger on your keyboard or at the spot where you begin. Tomorrow starts here, standards reset upward, and the cycle of daily excellence turns again. Steadier, cleaner, stronger. When effort gets quiet and the room is still, who are you by default? Here's the hinge: discipline becomes natural when behavior matches identity. You stop trying hard and start being someone whose day produces evidence. Link your earlier moves, the first inch, the 25-minute block, the 3 quick scans to a present tense claim you can prove. Identity, then action, then proof, then a stronger identity. That loop is the engine of daily excellence. Picture a stone arch going up in a workshop. Blocks are set. Scan, start, focus. But the arch doesn't hold until the mason lifts in the keystone. One tap and gravity pulls every piece tighter. Nothing flashy. Suddenly everything supports everything else. Your keystone is the identity line you authored. I am the kind of person who starts on time, because respect matters. Each time you act, the arch tightens. Each evening, the structure either holds or needs a small shim. No speeches, just fit and force working in your favor. Make it immediate. In the next 3 minutes, do 2 things. First, place your identity line where the work begins. Lock screen, notebook edge, the top of your document. Read it once, calmly, before your first inch tomorrow. Second, set a 900 p.m. reminder titled, Weekend. Gewig upgrade. That prompt converts your day from intention to evidence. If the answer is yes, anchor the reason in 1 sentence. If no, name the smallest fix. The goal isn't pressure, it's alignment. Hold this single question as you close the day. Am I acting like the person I've decided to be? If you can answer without flinching, standards rise on their own. If not, the arch isn't broken. It just needs a shim you'll place tomorrow morning when the identity line greets you again. Next, we'll sign the work in ink. Your nightly ledger and gratitude practice that seals the claim, raises the threshold, and starts the next cycle stronger. Before the lights go out, ask yourself, did today meet the line you set this morning? Excellence isn't distant. It's a daily threshold you sign each night. That's the lens. 1 day, clearly played. 1 signature, clearly earned. Walk the loop once more so the pictures stay with you. E. Establish the carpenter's square against the board. A quiet standard revealing straight from crooked. X. Examine the lighthouse sweep. No drama, just truth every few minutes. C. Commitments and calendar the runway with 1 plane per slot, 1 focus per block. E. Energy. The battery icon inching up after a quick charge. L. Learn the sharpen axe that makes the same swing cut clean. L. Leverage environment, the greenhouse where structure grows what you want. E. Execute small. The first domino tipping momentum into motion. N. Narrate identity, the courtroom verdict. Reliability proven by evidence. C. Communicate value, the tuning fork that sets a note others can match. E. Evaluate and elevate, the craftsman's ledger. Small lines, big integrity. That's EXCELLENCE. A circle you can run tomorrow without waiting on motivation. Do it today. First inch club 1 25-minute block before noon. Tonight at 9 p.m., complete your 3-line ledger: 1 promise kept, 1 thing learned, 1 upgrade for tomorrow. Then add a single thank you to keep your mind resourceful. That's all. Brief, repeatable, compounding. Carry 1 fresh image as you leave, a metronome ticking at the edge of your desk. Steady, unhurried, keeping time while you place the notes. Your job is not to play louder. It's to play on time every day and sign the page when the measure ends. If this moved you, subscribe and run this EXCLENCE loop with me for 7 days. We'll raise the threshold together, quietly, consistently, unmistakably, and meet the version of you who nods at 9 p.m. with pride.